Hello friends. Today we're going to discuss about e-pharmacy. I'm Dr. Suresh Badadmat, Professor of Psychiatry, working at National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, Bangalore. In this video, I'll be discussing about e-pharmacy, what are the advantage, disadvantage, what are the different models of e-pharmacy, what are the rules, regulations and laws prevailing regarding e-pharmacy, and the future of e-pharmacy in India. Let's define e-pharmacy. E-pharmacy is a term that refers to the practice of buying and selling medications and pharmaceuticals products through online platform or websites. It is commonly known as online pharmacy or internet pharmacy. Why should we discuss this? The Indian drug market was assessed to be $41 billion market in 2021. It remains the third biggest market as far as the volume is concerned and 13th biggest market in terms of value. It is predicted to grow by $65 million by 2024. The e-pharmacy is growing exponentially from 23% in 2013 to 59% in 2018. Till date, e-pharmacy is growing very fast. As per the definition, e-pharmacy, it is a business of distribution or sale, stock, exhibit, or offer for sale of medicines through a web portal or any other electronic mode is considered e-pharmacy. Let's understand the e-pharmacy. The patient consults the doctor online or else in person. After the consultation is over, the doctor will write the prescription and will transmit the prescription to the pharmacy through online. The pharmacist will validate the prescription and sends the medication directly to patient's house, that is to the doorstep. This is the one model, or else the patient will go to the specific medical shop and there he receives the medicine. In this whole process, this e-pharmacy, the patient need not go to the pharmacy at all or to the medical shop. Especially during pandemic, where the patients and the patient's family were afraid to go to the medical shop, e-pharmacy played a crucial role in distributing the medicine across the India and also across the world. Now let's understand different types of e-pharmacy models. One is stock-based model of e-pharmacy. Here, Mr. X is running e-pharmacy and he has all the medicine brought directly from the pharmaceutical industries. And whenever he receives the prescription, he dispatches the medicine which he has stock in his warehouse. That is the first model. Second one is commercial center-based model of e-pharmacy. Here, there is an online platform which gives a platform for both the retail pharmacist to sell these medicines and also the customer to come online platform and buy the medicines. Here, this commercial entity of e-pharmacy works like Amazon or else maybe Flipkart. Here, it is only exclusively for e-pharmacy. Here, they don't stock the medicine. Here, they are providing only the software as a aggregator or else may be considered as intermediaries. The third one is generic e-commerce marketplace. Here, the e-commerce softwares such as applications like Amazon, Flipkart, they not only sell the medicines but also other general products are also sold. That means it's a combination of various things are sold online. They are not dedicated only for e-pharmacy. Fourth one is mixed model. So these are the various model of e-pharmacy which needs to be regulated through laws. What are the advantages? First and the foremost, many senior citizens, disabled people, at the ease of using the mobile phone, they can order the medicine. It is very convenient and need not travel. And it is economical. The reason being is the many middle people have been removed and the medicine from the pharmaceutical industry can directly reach the patients. And doorstep delivery makes very convenient. Further, you need not go to the medical shop to buy medicine. Physical privacy is ensured. Access to information on online is available and they are up to date. What are the disadvantages? First and the foremost, whatever the medicines you buy online, privacy is a big issue. Although physical privacy of visiting the medical shop is not there, whatever you have bought, the digital traces will be left behind. The second one is legitimacy. Who is selling this medicine? What are the qualities? What are the compositions of these medicines is very difficult to know. Poor regulations of this e-pharmacy, duplicate prescriptions, cross-border selling of medicine from one country to another country, from one state to another state. Interstate license, especially in India, is a big question. Cold chain, that is, the medicine needs to be kept in a proper temperature. Think about if these medicines are stored in a big warehouse and when it has to be couriered without proper cold chain, these medicines' effectiveness can be destroyed. Many a time, selling of illegal medication is a big challenge. Finally, verifying the stakeholders. Patient ID, whether the same patient can buy same medicine by using the prescription, e-prescription multiple times. Physician who is writing the prescription, we do not know about his veracities. At the same time, seller credential, the pharmacist who is selling the medicine, is he licensed? From where he is operating? From where he is selling? And also the courier who is going to deliver these medicines. These are the biggest challenges of e-pharmacy. Let's look into the various legal regulation of e-pharmacy. E-pharmacy is regulated under Drugs and Cosmetic Act of 1940 and the Drugs and Cosmetics of Rules 1945. Along with this, the Pharmacy Act of 1948. When narcotic and drugs and psychotropic medications are prescribed, one need to follow NDPS Act of 1985. Along with this, since it is e-pharmacy, IT Act of 2000 and the person who is buying the medicine is a consumer. And of course, Consumer Protection Act 2019. Along with this, various other legislation such as National Medical Commission Act, if the physician is prescribing the medicine. Similarly, with regard to medical devices, if it is sold, they need to follow medical device rules also. Now let's understand about Drugs and Cosmetic Acts of 1940. The current Drugs and Cosmetic Acts is very clear. A pharmacist need to have a valid license and a registered premises to store the medication safely and also to sell the drugs. However, e-pharmacies can only operate if they have a physical premises in India and if they are selling from a particular state, they may have to take license from that state also. When the medicine is dispensed, a valid prescription from a registered medical practitioner is mandatory as per this legislation. Along with this, there are various regulatory agencies with regard to pharmacy or medical shops. First and the foremost is Central Medicine Standard Control Organization, that is CEDESCO, which is responsible for setting and ensuring the quality of standards for medicines. The second one is State Medicine Standard Control Organization. This is regulating the manufacturing, sale, and distribution of medicines in the respective states. And the final one is the Drug Controller General of India, or else Medicine Controller General of India. Invariably, they are called as DCGI. He is the person who is heading the SEDESCO and carrying out the licensing and controlling function of SEDESCO, my dear friends. These are the three important authorities for e-pharmacy and also to manufacture the medicines, to store, to transport, and also to dispense the medicine. Further, this Drugs and Cosmetic Act invariably, whenever there is an interstate sale of medicine, suppose if the medicine is dispatched from Karnataka to Delhi, that means it is between interstate. These two states may have a different state rules with regard to manufacturing the drug, storing the drug, transportation of the drug, and licensing the drug. That means the pharmacist, if he is selling the medicine from Karnataka, should he take license of Delhi also? Is a question. Hence, it is a grey area. E-pharmacies, companies comprising of large network of pharmacies integrated into a single platform similar to Amazon, where the seller pharmacist will sell the medicine on the platform and the patient buys the medicine on this platform. In such a multiple networks of various retailers and consumers, it is very difficult to monitor the quality of the drug, whether they are selling the duplicate drugs, spurious drugs, or may not sell the drug also. Further, the biggest challenge is Schedule H and X drugs. These are all habit forming drugs, or also addiction causing drugs, dependence causing drugs, you can call, and these need to be sold easily. But invariably, in e pharmacy, they can be sold, and this will cause a big menace in the country. Along with this, the e pharmacy, there is a possibility of a patient uploading his prescription many times to various pharmacies and buying medicines in large quantity and leading to either death by suicide or homicidal attempts. Along with this, it is very difficult to identify the patient unless Aadhaar card is tagged. Many a time, these Aadhaar card are available by various people and they can misuse it. Hence, it becomes a biggest challenge to know the ID of the patient who is requesting for the medicine. Many a time, the minors can also buy the medicines from these e-pharmacy disguising as adult. At this point of time, there is no barcoding system with regard to e-pharmacy. Barcoding means basically where the medicine was manufactured, what was the date, which was the company, and how it is transmitted. These are important information of barcoding is not there mandatory on e-pharmacy. This barcoding is very essential in e-pharmacy, my dear friends. And of course, finally, maintaining the cold chain during the couriering of the medicine to the house or to the patient's house is a big challenge. Let's look at the various legal issues which have cropped up in India. The two important states, Delhi High Court and Madras High Court, received a PIL. In Delhi, a dermatologist made a PIL regarding unregulated online sale of medicine, which are substandard drugs sold to various patients. And in this matter, the Delhi High Court directed the central government to form rules and regulations and also mentioned there is a high possibility of selling habit forming drugs by the criminals. Hence, they requested the central government to form rules. At the same time, Madras High Court in 2019, January 31st, banned online sale of medicines in Tamil Nadu. Although there are various advantages which I have mentioned, that is increased choice, Patient can buy the economical brand or the brand which he wants online, and many a time they are economical in nature. Of course, there are various disadvantages. Knowing that whether these medicines are sold by a valid pharmacist, duplicate medicines, cold chain, and also lot of available of medicines and indiscriminate use of antibiotics can cause antimicrobial resistance, bacteria and viruses can lead to health hazard in India. If you look at the timeline of e-health policies with regard to e-pharmacy, in 2005, the Drug Control General of India made mandate all e-pharmacies need to follow Drugs and Cosmetic Act in 1945. That act needs to be followed. In 2016, the Office of Drugs and Controller General realized this, whatever the law which is prevailing since 80 years is not enough to monitor e-pharmacy. Hence, in November 2016, Self-Regulation Code of Conduct for E-Pharmacy Sector was published. But however, it was just a regulation code. In 2017, draft pharmaceutical policy was released and encouraged e-pharmacy in the interest of consumers. September 2018, the Union Minister of Health mandated e-pharmacies to register with SEDESCO, which led to strong opposition by AIOCD, that is, the Pharmacist Association strongly condemned and protested against e-pharmacy. In December 2018, Delhi High Court clearly said that online sale of medicine should be banned, and which was similarly followed by Madras High Court. In October 2019, government introduced e-pharmacy framework, but it could not pass because of strong protest by the pharmacist, my dear friends. At this point of time, we have only e-pharmacy draft rules which was released on 28th August of 2018. However, these rules have not been implemented till date, my dear friends. Now, the ministry has operating these e-pharmacies under the Drugs and Cosmetic Acts of 1945. Now, there is a draft rules of e-pharmacy which I mentioned. There are some silent points which regard to these e-pharmacy rules which are drafted and yet to be notified. First and the foremost, central mandatory registration is there. The data which are stored with regard to patient should be in the national, that is, within the nation or within the country. None of the data should go outside the country. Prohibition of advertisement. Compliance with IT Act is mandatory. Prescriptions should be clearly mentioned, and pharmacists should ensure that the prescription is very clear, and also privacy should be maintained, and also prohibition of habit forming drugs, that is NDPS drugs, were prohibited. However, at this point of time, the Drugs, Medical Device and Cosmetic Bill 2023 is pending in the Parliament. The new Drug, Medical Device and Cosmetic Bill will replace the 80-year-old Drugs and Cosmetic Act of 1940. This is a new updated law which strictly forms a regulatory and also pharmaceutical industry and e-pharmacy. This new bill proposes for a new definition for clinical trials, over-the-counter medicines, manufacturers, medical devices, new drugs, bioavailability studies, investigational new drugs and trials, imported spurious drugs, medical devices, aims to regulate even online e-pharmacy. This bill seeks to regulate even the import, manufacture, distribution and sale of drugs, medical devices, cosmetics, and ensures quality, safety, efficacy, performance and clinical trial of new drugs and clinical investigation of new medications, medical devices, clinical performance and evaluation of new in vitro diagnostic medical device including Ayush drugs, medical devices, cosmetics, and the objectives of highest possible regulatory standards and a transparent regulatory regime to repeal the Drugs and Cosmetic Act of 1940. This is a very ambitious legislation. Although Drugs and Cosmetic Acts is there since 80 years, we are unable to implement across the country in a very stricter manner. Now, whether the new legislation will come with the new hope and also new standard of providing easy, accessible, safe, effective, and patient friendly medicine need to be seen. To regulate e-pharmacy, the draft bill proposes no person shall himself or by other person on his behalf sell or stock or exhibit or offer for sale or distribute any drug online except under in accordance with the license or permission issued in such a manner prescribed. That means there is a permission required from the central authority as per the new legislation which is supposed to be tabled. The center has proposed a separate drug technical advisory board called as DTAB and also medical device technical advisory board called as MDT-TAB. These are the various authorities which will look into the implementation of this legislation. However, the medical device industry is requesting for a separate bill. They do not want to get embedded in this new drug and medical device and cosmetic bill. Even the Parliamentary Standing Committee on 138th report released on September 12, 2022 recommended to have a separate law for medical devices. However, this is an integrated comprehensive law. Even the most progressive countries such as Japan, devices, Canada, Brazil have their separate legislation for medical devices. Whether it is good to have a separate or a comprehensive law is not the question. How we are going to implement, how the resources will be given to implement this legislation is a big question, my dear friends. To conclude, as of now, there is no comprehensive law to administer e-pharmacy stores in India. This is a significant inhibitor to the online drugstore in the market. At this point of time, e-pharmacies are working in the country, selling their medicines without much regulations or law. All online drugstores need to follow Drugs and Cosmetic Act of 1940. However, this legislation does not addresses all the concerns which I have raised in this video. E-pharmacy can play a major role in our country with regard to accessible, adequate, and also easily affordable medicines to the poor patients. But however, we need to make sure it is sold by a person who is a pharmacist and also who has license and provides quality medicine. And of course, e-pharmacy will play a major role during disasters and pandemic to make sure this medicine reaches every corner of the country. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Stay safe.